From an unexpected princess to the longest reigning monarch in British history, discover the incredible untold story of Queen Elizabeth II. Witness how a young woman who never expected to rule became one of the most influential figures of the 20th century. This is the extraordinary journey of duty, sacrifice, and unwavering service that defined an era. Stay tuned for a story that will change how you see royalty forever.
In the heart of London, on April 21, 1926, a baby girl was born who would never have been expected to rule the British Empire. Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary Windsor entered the world as the third in line to the throne, behind her uncle Edward and her father Albert. Nobody could have predicted that this innocent child would become the longest reigning monarch in British history, witnessing and guiding her nation through some of its most turbulent and transformative decades. Young Elizabeth grew up in a world of privilege, yet her childhood was far from ordinary. Her early years were spent at 145 Piccadilly, where she lived a relatively normal life for a royal child. She was educated privately at home, learning constitutional history, law, art, and music. But it was her love for horses and dogs that would become her lifelong passion. From an early age, she displayed the qualities that would define her reign: discipline, duty, and an unwavering sense of responsibility. The trajectory of Elizabeth's life changed dramatically in 1936 when she was just 10 years old. Her uncle, King Edward VIII, made the shocking decision to abdicate the throne for love, choosing to marry American divorcee Wallis Simpson rather than fulfill his royal duties. In an instant, Elizabeth's father became King George VI, and she became the heir presumptive to the British throne. The weight of destiny had suddenly fallen upon the shoulders of a young girl who had been playing with her dolls just moments before World War II erupted when Elizabeth was 13, and it would shape her character in ways that would last a lifetime. While many wealthy families sent their children to safety in Canada, the royal family remained in London, sharing the dangers faced by ordinary British citizens. Buckingham Palace was bombed 9 times during the war, and the young princess experienced firsthand the resilience and determination of the British people during their darkest hour. At 18, against her parents' initial wishes, Elizabeth joined the Auxiliary Territorial Service, becoming the first female member of the royal family to serve full-time in the armed forces. She trained as a driver and mechanic, learning to change tires, repair engines, and drive military vehicles. This experience gave her a unique connection to the common people that would serve her well throughout her reign. She understood what it meant to work with her hands, to serve her country in practical ways, and to be part of something larger than herself. Love found Elizabeth in the form of Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, a dashing naval officer whom she had first met when she was just 13. Their romance blossomed through letters during the war, and despite initial opposition from her parents and the establishment, who questioned Philip's suitability, Elizabeth remained steadfast in her choice. Their wedding on November 20, 1947, was a moment of hope and celebration for a war-weary nation, watched by millions around the world, but personal happiness would soon be overshadowed by tragedy and responsibility. On February 6, 1952, while Elizabeth and Philip were on a tour of Kenya, devastating news arrived: King George VI had died peacefully in his sleep at Sandringham. At just 25 years old, Elizabeth had become Queen of the United Kingdom and 15 other Commonwealth realms. She was photographed learning of her father's death while sitting in a tree in Kenya, watching elephants at a watering hole. In that moment, a young woman's life ended, and a monarch's began. The coronation of Queen Elizabeth II on June 2, 1953, was a spectacular affair that marked the beginning of the television age. For the first time in history, a coronation was broadcast live, with over 20 million people in Britain watching the ceremony. The young queen, elegant and composed beyond her years, took the ancient oaths that bound her to serve her people for life. She pledged to govern according to their respective laws and customs, to maintain justice and mercy in all judgments, and to defend the Protestant Reformed faith. These were not mere words but a sacred covenant that would guide every decision she made for the next 70 years. The early years of Elizabeth's reign were marked by the dissolution of the British Empire and the challenge of transforming it into the Commonwealth. She witnessed the independence of dozens of former colonies, managing this transition with remarkable grace and diplomacy. Rather than clinging to past glories, she embraced a new role as head of a voluntary association of independent nations, maintaining Britain's influence through soft power and personal relationships. The 1960s brought both triumph and controversy. The Queen modernized many aspects of the monarchy, allowing television cameras into royal ceremonies and making the royal family more accessible to the public. However, this decade also saw the rise of Republican sentiment and criticism of the monarchy's relevance in modern society. The Queen navigated these challenges with characteristic discretion, neither defending herself publicly nor allowing criticism to alter her commitment to duty. Personal challenges tested Elizabeth's resolve throughout the 1970s and 1980s. The breakdown of her sister Princess Margaret's marriage, combined with growing public scrutiny of royal finances and lifestyle, created unprecedented pressure. The Queen faced calls for modernization while maintaining the dignity and continuity that the monarchy represented. She responded by opening Buckingham Palace to the public, paying income tax voluntarily, and gradually making the monarchy more transparent and accountable. The 1990s became known as the Queen's Annus Horribilis, her horrible year. In 1992, 3 of her 4 children's marriages ended in separation or divorce. Windsor Castle suffered a devastating fire, and public criticism of the monarchy reached new heights. The divorce of Prince Charles and Princess Diana in particular created a crisis that threatened the very foundation of the monarchy. Elizabeth's initially restrained response to Diana's death in 1997 sparked public anger, but she ultimately adapted, delivering a rare televised address that helped heal the nation's wounds. Throughout these personal and public challenges, Queen Elizabeth II demonstrated remarkable resilience and adaptability. She modernized the monarchy while preserving its essential character, embraced technology while maintaining tradition, and remained politically neutral while engaging with controversial issues. Her weekly meetings with prime ministers became legendary, providing continuity and wisdom as 12 different leaders came and went during her reign. The Queen's dedication to Commonwealth nations remained unwavering throughout her reign. She undertook hundreds of overseas visits, often to countries facing significant challenges, demonstrating Britain's commitment to these relationships. Her personal diplomacy helped maintain the Commonwealth as a meaningful organization, even as some questioned its relevance in the modern world. As Elizabeth entered her twilight years, she began gradually transferring responsibilities to younger members of the royal family, particularly Prince Charles and Prince William. However, she never wavered in her commitment to serve until the very end. Even in her final years, she continued to fulfill her constitutional duties, meet with world leaders, and inspire her people through her unwavering sense of duty. The Queen's passing on September 8, 2022, at Balmoral Castle in Scotland, marked the end of an era. She had served for 70 years and 214 days, longer than any other British monarch. Her funeral was attended by world leaders from across the globe, a testament to the respect and affection she had earned throughout her remarkable life. Queen Elizabeth II's legacy extends far beyond the mere facts of her reign. She represented stability in an age of rapid change, duty in an era of individualism, and dignity in times of scandal and controversy. She proved that monarchy could evolve and remain relevant while maintaining its essential character and purpose. Her life story is one of a young woman who never sought power but accepted it with grace, never pursued fame but achieved it through service, and never wavered in her commitment to the people she served.
Queen Elizabeth II's remarkable 70-year reign proves that true leadership comes from service, not power. Her legacy of duty, dignity, and dedication continues to inspire millions worldwide. If this incredible story moved you, subscribe for more fascinating biographies of history's most influential figures. Like this video if you believe in the power of unwavering commitment. What moment from her reign inspired you most? Share your thoughts below.